Hey guys, what's up? I'm here with a review of an American exploitation slasher film from 1976, and tonight's movie is Alice, Sweet Alice. Our film is about a young girl who is murdered on the day of her first communion, and her strange, kind of abnormal, somewhat psychotic or sociopathic sister becomes the main suspect. So our film opens with some whispering and praying with credits over it, and then the title screen, and a shot of a church as we continue on. Alice and her family having dinner. Alice scares the maid before going back to dinner, where Alice's sister Karen gets a necklace from the priest as a gift, and Alice goes down to the basement and gets really creepy, and then they play really creepy music, and yeah, Alice goes to this abandoned building for some reason, and her sister follows her, and then Alice scares her sister. So suddenly, this very fat guy who has a lot of cats lives in the same apartment building that Alice and her family lives in. Alice is late to church on Sunday, the day of the communion, ooh, where her sister is killed by someone in a yellow raincoat and the same yellow raincoat and mask that Alice likes to go around wearing. Strange. So the girl's body is hidden in the church and set on fire. Alice finally arrives at the church right when a nun realizes that there is a fire. Naturally, everybody hurries to see what's going on. And Karen, Alice's sister, has been murdered. The priest breaks the news to everybody. We skip ahead a bit to the day of Karen's funeral, and everyone, as you should expect, is sad. We cut to a man at a train station who is the father of Karen and Alice, and he's arriving at the funeral. Um, so then Alice brings the fat guy a cake that her mother made for him, and she acts really creepy towards Alice. Some of the adults assume that Alice committed the murder, and the father comes in to talk to the police about getting protection and the protection in case someone tries to, um, harm the family again. And the mother attempts to get Alice into a shrink, but after many requests, each of them being denied. The father and priest talk about files involving Alice going missing, and then Alice's aunt Annie yells at her and threatens to hit her. And I think I know who's next on the food chain. So, can this killer be stopped? Is is the killer Alice? Um, is there going to be a moment where this movie isn't really creepy? This movie definitely one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen. Not scariest, but definitely creepy. Um, it has great creepy music. The acting and writing is pretty good. They have very good skill at creating very suspenseful moments and scenes in the film. The killer is also very creepy. Um, all the effects used in the film are very good. The film isn't really boring. It's got the right mix of eeriness and violence. Possibly maybe my one of my new favorite slasher films. Um, I'd say this one kind of rivals with Suspiria. And yes, I did rewatch Suspiria, and yes, I did like it after rewatching it. But I don't think it's a masterpiece. But it rivals with Suspiria in the sense that Suspiria is violent, it has great music, and it has that visual style. Now, while Alice, Sweet Alice has all those things except the visual style, it's still a very good film. Um, did I forget to mention this movie has a great soundtrack? Not as good as Suspiria's, um, but still a pretty damn good soundtrack. But Alice, Sweet Alice is still very well shot and lit film. on the gore meter. From 1 to 10, 1 being something like The Corpse Grinders, and 10 being something like Brain Dead. Alice Sweet Alice is a 5. Usual kind of slasher film tropes. Few bloodied weapons here. There's like a few scenes of stabbing that are a bit bloody. It isn't too gory. I mean, I've definitely seen worse 80s slasher films. Um, but this is definitely one I would highly recommend. To anybody looking for a good, like, well, I forgot, I said 80s slasher movie, just slasher film in general. Highly recommended film, definitely. Great, great, very creepy, violence. Well, not very violent, but creepy, violent, well made. It's a great, fantastic, just amazing film. I would highly suggest it. 5 out of 5 stars. Anyway, guys, I'm Biscuit Boo 69 signing off. Peace.